Alright gang, welcome back to our Broke to Billionaire challenge on Ohio Richlands. It's now looking more likely that it will not be a billionaire challenge, more so of a, maybe if we can get to 100 million challenge. I think that's kind of where we're getting to now, but we'll keep it as Broke to Billionaire challenge because that was the initial goal. I just failed tremendously in this challenge, but nonetheless, we're going to still continue to go and see where we get to. Hopefully we get closer than what I'm expecting, but we'll see. In any case, I have went ahead and started drilling this field. Now, this is where the potatoes were. I did go ahead and separate the fields out. I had talked in the previous episode, maybe we combine them over there, get rid of these trees. But since we had so many issues there in the last episode with trying to get rid of one of these trees in general off this area, it was like telling me that I didn't own the land. I thought we would just go the safer route and just separate them all out. So this field will be very similar to the size of this one over here, and then as we carry on, they'll all be kind of very similar to the other field next to us. So we're putting oat in here. We don't have any oat fields going at current, so just felt like it was a good one to put in, so that's what we're doing. Now today is going to be a whole lot of drilling. That's almost entirely what we have to do, is drilling. Now, I kind of just picked up where I left off in the last episode. The harvester is still sitting there. I got to put that away. I did put away the cotton harvester, and I did unload that bale of cotton. There wasn't a full bale, and I went ahead and dropped that off at our fabric shop. So that's underway. And, yeah, we're going to continue carrying on here. So these smaller fields with that big massive header on the harvester now will definitely help us. It'll make it much faster for us to get these done, so I'm not as concerned with these. The other two big ones we have over there are really going to be the ones that, you know, take the time. When it is time to harvest the small field over there, I think I mentioned it before, but I'm going to bring it up just in case I didn't, because I kind of forget. The small field over there that has caused issues earlier on, right? We got stuck in the fence line and everything else. We're going to be selling that field once we harvest it. I don't really think I need it anymore based off of buying this massive field here. So we're gonna get rid of that one, let that one go, so that'll give us a little bit of money back. And really, we haven't really been utilizing the silos at all now that we have so many productions rolling. We're just kind of sending stuff straight to the productions. We don't really need that silo anymore. However, we're not allowed to remove that from the map. I don't know if the map will allow us to do it or what, but just from this series standpoint alone, that's going to be kind of the mid-flight rule I'm adding, that I'm not allowed to remove any of the stuff that I originally started with. Now, I can sell all the land, certainly, at the end to try to get us, you know, closer to that $1 billion range, but I'm not allowed to remove the silos or the house. That's really all we started, and that barn, excuse me. The silos, the house, and the initial barn. We're not allowed to get rid of any of those. Everything else we are allowed to get rid of or sell or whatever we want to do. We can do whatever we want with those. Yeah, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. I'm nearly done with, bear with me for a minute. This is not farming related. I'm nearly done with the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, the first playthrough. The first playthrough, I just did it as intended by the developers there, right? So they made some modifications to it to make it a little bit easier to try to bring some other people into the game. Because it, by nature, the original one was a hard game. Now, it does have that ability for you to flip that on and go to the original old school style. And we will be doing a playthrough of that as well once I complete the first one. So I'm pretty excited about it, having a lot of fun with it. And hopefully, if you haven't, go check it out. But if you have checked it out, hopefully you've enjoyed it as well. Been a lot of fun. Now, as far as the farming goes, so the channel for farming, we're doing all right. The 100 horsepower challenge, the second episode just recently released. Really loving that series that I created there. That's going to be another hard one to try to accomplish by FS25. Well, just after FS25, as I've mentioned, I'm going to, unfortunately, be out of the country during FS25's release, so I'm going to be a couple of days, 3, 4, maybe 5 days behind the 8 ball there. That's a little disappointing, but nevertheless, we'll get caught up. It does, so, you know, one of my subscribers in the comments and I apologize. I should have wrote your name down. I forget which one it was who said it, but in any case, I'm going to give you the props here. They brought up a really good point, really good, thing to think about in regard to that, right? So it is disappointing that I'm going to be a little bit behind the 8 ball, starting a little bit late, but it does give me the ability to see what everybody else is doing. And what I mean by that is all the guys that we normally do challenges with. So Crustu, Rusty, Farmer Mike, Milk That Hen, etc., right? All the guys who we normally do challenges with, it gives me a chance to see what they're doing. And maybe they're going to come up with a challenge that I like even better than the stuff that I have planned, or that I'm actually hashing out right now, I guess. And maybe I push one of my ideas back to later on and take up one of their challenges and join them. It's not a bad idea. So I get to sit back and watch that and make my decision, right? I know for a fact I already have... I'm not going to spoil anything. I know for a fact I already have one that's going to be there no matter what. And then we'll probably do a base campaign playthrough, similar to what we've been doing here with FS22 as well. Really, I want to have kind of 3 series running, one on each of the maps that just came out, the base maps, right? I kind of want to have a series running on each of those, and then I'll probably wait until a map is released on ModHub, whenever that may be, and we'll do some kind of a one-off series once a week, similar to what we did with this when we started with this series, on that map, whatever it is I choose for a while, right? And then once we finish one of the other series, we can bump that one up, etc., just like we did this. Seems like it's a good approach. It's worked for me so far, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Now, this field over here to the right that we kind of separated off, right, and all the other potatoes over there, they're going to just have to sit there and wait for a little bit longer. We don't have anything to put in. Now, there is another subscriber has mentioned a number of times that there is a silo that I can buy. It's like a multi-fruit silo that will allow the potatoes to go into it. So I'm going to look into doing that today. I have not looked for it. I don't even know if I have it downloaded, but I will look for that today, and we'll maybe potentially, implement that today. If we don't implement it today, it'll be probably the next episode. We really necessarily don't need it today. I mean, I guess we do. We could get, if we bought it, we could unload that, right, and get the worker going on still continuing to knock out the rest of those potatoes. But we're going to have plenty to do today. We've got to drill this field. We've got to drill that field. There's a lot to do today. And we have to drill that field after we get all the straw up, which that's another problem, right? We've got to figure out something else for the straw. It can just wait there, technically, until the next episode, right? Because we're still in August, right? So we haven't jumped a month yet, so there's no weeds or anything started. And the game will allow you to pick that up no matter how many weeds are on the field. But I really don't like going any further than 1 month. There's tons of weeds on the ground, and that's just way too much unrealistic in my opinion. So we're going to set a worker on this one, and then we're going to jump into probably the case. Yeah, probably the case. Well, let me put this way first. This is a case too, but the case tractor, which I fixed in the edit, but I wrongly stated in the last one. I said this is the only case we have on the farm, and that's not a true statement. We have the case tractor. This just happens to be a black case tractor. I'm used to case all being red, so that was just a complete and utter mishap on my part, but that's all right. Look how big this header is compared to the last one. I mean, we're taking up almost the entire shed here. Now, granted, if I was to, unfold it, I guess is what it technically is, and nope. There you go. If I was to unfold it, right, and like I was pulling it behind it, and I could just park it somewhere else. Technically, that would work, but you get what I mean. So, let's see if we can unload any of this, and then we'll grab the case. I don't think we're going to be able to, but, we'll be able to unload some of it, but not all of it. Yeah. Still a good chunk there, as expected. So, we need to get the cotton harvester out now. Or the cotton drill out, excuse me. The planter. Because we've got to put some cotton back in. I should have filled this up. What am I doing? Hold on a second. I gotta go back and fill this up here, gang. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa, we're sliding over the place. Alright, and we're underway. Now, it does say that it's a 300... for the drill itself, it says you would want 300 horsepower. The case we have does not have 300 horsepower. But it is chugging through here pretty much no problem. The nice thing is that most of this map... I mean, there's slight hills, but most of this map is pretty flat. That's mostly how Ohio is, except for kind of southern Ohio and a brief portion of really north Ohio. Pretty much flat, so it's pretty much prime farm real estate, and so it's not too bad here. It probably can manage most of this. It might have a little bit of an issue when we come back up this way, because it is a little bit more of a hill, but it's not too bad. Now, one thing we could potentially do, I don't know if we will or not, but let me get this set up here for a second. So this field over here, right, it's not fully to the extent that we want it to be at, but we could still partially drill it. You know what I mean? Like, we could just drill it to a point and then leave it be for the rest of the time until we have it all set up how we want it. So we could drill part of it just to make a little bit of extra money. I think we might end up doing that. Because why not? Right? Why not? Still haven't got rid of those trees. They're still there. We'll get rid of them. I assure you, we'll get rid of them soon enough. So just like we typically do, well, almost always do, but sometimes I don't do it because I get a little impatient and I want to get some other things accomplished, but we normally go around the headland, right? That's the best way to do it so the workers don't get confused and they don't go over into that field because they seem to do that a lot for some reason. So we'll go around the headland a couple times here. Then we can throw this on a work or two. And then I'm probably going to go pick up some more straw from that other field. They're not going to be able to get all of it up unless we get another loading wagon or something to put the straw in. I mean, I can keep putting down those little silos that don't cost a whole lot of money, but man, I'd have to have a shit ton of them just to get able to hold, just to be able to hold everything in them. And yeah, I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. I don't really think I like the idea of it or the look of it. I do like this planter, though. I really do. I think it's a nice planter. I really do. I really, really like it. So, now that you kind of know the plan here, gang, let's get to work, huh? All right, we're underway here on the smaller sectioned field here that we're making. Obviously, I didn't go all the way to the end on everything, mostly because there's trees in the way over here, and I want to work on some of those trees if it'll let us do anything else. And then I left a big area over there as well, just for it being able to ease of access to driving back here for the potatoes and everything else. So, not a big field. I had thought originally about putting soybeans in, but then I said, soybeans are going to take too long to do. We would probably be able to, expand this well before the soybeans would be ready to harvest, so let's just put sorghum in. So that's what we did. We're putting sorghum in. Put on a worker for now. Hopefully they do an okay job. This worker is having a lot of issues here with the turnaround on this portion, so we're just going to take over and do the rest of it ourselves here. Yeah, things are moving along nicely here. So once we're done with the drilling here of the cotton, we're going to have to go get the fertilizer spreader out, and we're going to have to spread some fertilizer down here. And then we're going to need to herbicide this field, that field, and the section that we're making of that field as well. They all got to be done. We did go over there and grab some of the straw, as you saw, but we are once again full. And it got rid of about 3% when we brought it back, but that's not enough to get the rest of that off the ground there. So we are going to have to figure out something for that. If it has to be the same type of silo again, I guess it has to be the same type of silo. I just really don't want to have 4 or 5 of them on the yard, but it kind of seems like we're going to have to. That, or we put down another BGA type production or something for the straw. I don't know. There's not much out there for straw, though. It's mostly BGAs, potentially straw pellet stuff, but the straw we have currently isn't into pellets, so we'd have to buy a machine similar to what we just started doing on the horse aggravation map on the campaign playthrough. We did buy one of those. We really haven't tried it out yet. We bought one when we purchased the fields and everything, used one, but we haven't tried it yet. It's something that supposedly is able to pick up a straw directly off the ground and turn it into straw pellets. So then we could do something like heat and things like we've utilized previously, like in the Frugal Millionaire Challenge. We could do something similar to that. I don't know. I mean, I've never tried it, so I don't really know how that'll work. So I guess that's an option. Now, let's do a quick save here. As far as the next episode goes in regard to this, thinking ahead a little bit here, nothing's going to be ready to harvest. So we're probably going to be skipping months a little bit. And if we can't get that straw up off the ground today, then we're going to have, well, we're not really going to have any issues, but I'm not going to like it because it's going to have a ton of weeds on it. It's going to be kind of super unrealistic, if that makes any sense at all. So let's go put this thing away, and then we'll go grab the fertilizer spreader, and we can start spreading fertilizer on this field. And then we're going to have to get the sprayer out. Now, I haven't checked the used market, although we did check it in the last episode, and it's the same time period. Yeah, it's still just that bison active frame forestry vehicle. So that's not going to work. I was hoping something else would have been out there by now, but that's not the case. Now we also got the grass mowing, and to do that we're going to need to either make get the loading wagon empty, which that's not going to happen, or we're going to have to get the bales out. We could do the bales again for the straw, I guess. That's the other option, right? We've got the baler that allows us to turn the straw into silage, so we've got that as an option. That's probably what we're going to have to end up doing here. Because although I'd like to buy another silo, to store the straw, there's not really any out there that have a huge capacity, at least not on ModHub that I've found personally. Certainly if you have PC, you have a lot more options at your disposal than I do. But yeah, so it'll probably be the bale route. Now, we haven't done bales in a while anyway. We've kind of jumped straight to that loading wagon just because it's been a little bit faster and just a little more efficient for us. But we can do the bales, then we can just leave the bales kind of on the field. Well, we could go pick them up. I've got that Autoload trailer, so We didn't sell that, so we can pick those up, I guess. But yeah, I think that's the path we're going to have to go here. Just seems like the best choice. And then we get the grass that we started mowing. So we'll probably have to do bales for those as well, because we don't have any room in the loading wagon. That, or we buy a secondary loading wagon, which we could do. I might look into that. I might look into a second loading wagon. That way we have 2 of them at all times. And they can just, you know, hold the grass and or straw that's in there. And then whatever is remaining on the fields, we could always just bale that up. That might be the right approach. That just might do it. I don't know what it is about fertilizing a field, man, but I think that might be my favorite thing to do. I love fertilizing a field. I just like the way that the texture changes, the color. I don't know. I like the spraying feature of the fertilizer coming out of the actual piece of equipment. I think fertilizing is my favorite thing to do in this game. I really do. All right, so this worker he's going, but he's not done, but he's going. He's doing all right. So, while that worker's doing that thing, let's look at, which one do we have? We have a big dog here, don't we? The TARDIS XL. So it's expensive, for sure. I keep calling them loading wagons. I call them loading wagons or forage wagons. They're the same thing. $55,000. I think it's worth it. I really do. I think it's worth it to buy another one, so we're going to. We gotta put the wide tires on there. Yes, silage, we want that too. Let's change the color of it up so we know. We'll go with dark metal green. I like that dark metal green. That's nice. I like the white rims with it. I think that looks cool. Looks slick. 61,000. So, I think we only have one tractor that's not actively being utilized. And it's this guy. We probably should look to upgrade the tractor too. I want to upgrade the Starry though. Or the Star, whatever the hell it is. I think over this. Let me go flip out the worker, and we might upgrade that Star too. Even if we don't, we'll utilize that one to go down and get that forage wagon. I think we might upgrade it, because why not? All right, so we did indeed upgrade the tractor. We bought a Vultra here. It's pretty nice, just under 300 horsepower, so it's our second strongest tractor we have now on the farm. It'll be very helpful, and it's got a 3-point hitch on the front too, right? So that's another thing I wanted to do. The case does not have that. It has the weight on the front, which is good for certain things. We have 2 of them that have the 3-point hitch on it, but really only one can be utilized for that big, massive front windrower header. Now this one technically is a little bit under what it says you should have, but I think it'll work. If we look at the front windrower here, it says 350. We're slightly under 300 horsepower. So it might be a little bit of a stretch to use it, but we're going to attempt it anyway. And we'll see how it goes. Alright, we're back here. We're going to give it a shot here, gang. Let's see how it goes. Seems like the workers, for the most part, are done with everything with the exception of the grass here. The worker's still doing the last pass here, but yeah, see, it's picking it up no problem. It's not that bad. It's because the land is pretty flat. That's the reason, So yeah, we're going to put the grass in here, and then we're going to unload it. And I did buy the silage for it, or the silage additive for it from our buying silo. It's very inexpensive. You might be asking, why didn't you just flip them out to the other one? Because the other one still had some in it. You're right, it did, but it was like $80 to fill it up. It's nothing. So I'm not. If the reason we fail, which we're going to fail, but if the reason we fail is because of $80, then I'm not that worried about it. I can go get a tree down for $80. So now the rest of the straw for sure we'll pick up as much as we can in this, and whatever's remaining we're just going to do the silage bales. Just seems like it's the best approach, honestly. So because there's no way we can get all that straw up off that field into that one trailer. We'd have to buy a bunch more of those, and it's not that they're outrageously expensive, but they're not cheap. I mean, $55,000 is not cheap. So It's actually cheaper for me to buy those little silos than to buy those trailers. So having 2 of them is more than sufficient at this point. This is going to take a second here just to get this stuff, and it's because of the, you know, the building's kind of in the way. So the workers completed their task. I'm not sure which one it is that completed their task, but one of them's completed their task. Oh my gosh, he's drilling in the other field now. He did continue on. Oh my goodness. I should have paid attention to it. I think he even went... He killed some of our potatoes. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? He 100% did. He killed some of our potatoes. No freaking way, bro. Why are they so stupid? He killed a lot of our potatoes. Shit. Well, that sucks. I should have paid attention to that more, I guess. I was so excited about the new Vulture and the new forage wagon. Shit! And now we're going to have a hard time getting in and out of this area without killing some of the crop we just put down on the ground. Shit! I mean, I guess I might as well drill this at this point. He's already drilled everything else. Just driving our neighbor's yard, I guess. Man. That sucks! Frickin' workers. Dang it. Okay, well, I mean, it is what it is. What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do about it. We're just going to have to kill some of the sorghum whenever it starts growing so we can get back there for the potatoes, and we lost some potatoes. I mean, that freaking sucks. It wasn't, at least it wasn't the entire field. If it was the entire field, man, I might have had to try to reload. I wouldn't have been able to, though, because I just did a quick save a few seconds ago. Damn you. Those damn workers, man. Damn workers. Went ahead and touched up the rest of that little tiny section there of grass. We're going to go ahead and put this away. We'll leave the tractor over here as well, because this one's going to kind of stay over here from now on. It's going to be my tractor that works over here. Pain in the ass to turn this thing around, but we're going to get it there. One way or another, we're going to get it there. Now, Vultures are normally not white. This one, at standard, I just went with the standard color of the tractor. It was white, so it's interesting. I did change the color of the rims to black. I just think white and black looks good. It already had white and black on it anyway, so. But yeah, a white Vultra. Interesting, right? It is the T255 Versu. Even the little image there is white, so. In any case, we can get the rest of this grass up here, and we'll go drop this off into our silage making production. And I think I've made my decision. I kind of talked about, well, we probably want to get that field done today, etc., etc., etc. I think we're going to wait. The reason why I'm saying that is because we've got enough that we can do probably for another episode. It may not be a dual episode, and what I mean by that is a dual episodes per month, right? It may be one where we just do one episode, like the old-fashioned way. But nevertheless, I think we have enough to accomplish something in September without having to skip it. Normally, I would just skip the months at this point until it's something ready to harvest. Because we're going to fertilize this field today once we get all the grass up, right? But we have all the herbiciding still to do. We haven't done any of that. We've got 3 fields technically to herbicide. We haven't done any of it. And then this field here, like I said, got to get all the straw up off of it. Then we got to drill it, and then we can herbicide it as well. So there's a lot more to do than it may seem. And who knows what else I decide to do besides that. This one's getting pretty long anyway, as it is. So I want to make sure we, keep it to a certain time period. As much as possible, just to help me out and just help YouTube's algorithm out in general. So. Now this won't be full. There's not enough grass here for this to be full, but nevertheless, we are going to get a good amount of silage from this. And the additives are going to certainly help. It's just going to give us more, right? So. The sheep, we'll do quick save here. The sheep should be okay. They shouldn't need any water. Yeah, they're fine. Their grass capacity is getting low. Really? I would have thought they still had tons of bales in there. The last time we looked, which was like 2 or 3 episodes ago, they looked like they still had 3 bales in there. Maybe one just needs to be moved around. Let me go over here and look. Because if they truly don't have any bales in there, which actually kind of looks like they don't, then we're going to have to drop some of this off in there for them. They don't have any bales in there. Wow, okay. Well, we do have 30 sheep in there now, even though it doesn't look like it. So they have reproduced. So that could be part of the reason why, too. Let me get this reset up here. And I mean, we're going to have to take some of this over there before we put it into the silage thing. We may want to even keep a little bit of this sectioned off to turn it into an actual bale so it'll store in there. I probably won't do that, but we might want to consider it. I actually think I'm going to keep that grass section down there for them. I think that's a smart play. We'll just turn around here. That rest of that down there will be for the sheep, and only for the sheep. I'm going to realign this. Just give me a second here, gang. So the Vulture's doing this, but once it's getting closer to being full, it is going a little bit slower. So it is struggling a little bit now at this point, I would say. Once it gets up to speed, though, it's not too bad. But in the low gears, it's struggling. Alright, that's done. Like I said, we're keeping the rest of the grass for the sheep, so let's go drop this off at the production to make some silage. And then we're going to go grab the fertilizer spreader, finish the small amount of fertilizer spreading that has to happen over there, and then we got to bring it over here and fertilize this grass field too. So, all that's got to be accomplished here still. Got some more boxes or more pallets, I should say, of clothes spawning, which is really good for us. They make us a ton of money. Let's just drop this off for right now. This is going to make it easier for me when I'm turning around and stuff, not having that on the front. Nice. Alright, the vulture's going to kind of just hang out over here. Make a little bit of more of a mess of the yard here, just temporarily. Because we're going to be utilizing it to get the grass up here and to get all the straw up here very, very soon. So, just set it right there for now. Kind of in the way of everything. So, there's a few sections here that have to be touched up. Then this is done. Now, I did have a little bit of fertilizer in here, but not much. So, I went ahead and I just took some directly out of our, you know, our digestate dryer, right? It's free. So, I utilized that for this. So, there was no drop in money here. So, that helped. Considering we spent a good chunk of change on that vulture. I mean, it wasn't outrageously expensive, but we probably still spent $140,000, $150,000 on it. So, we got back a little bit for the Stora, but not enough really to cover that. Not even close. So. Been a very productive day, though, man. We got a lot done, except for that stupid-ass worker. We got a lot done. A lot done. We're going to look at the productions here in just a second. I'm going to show you the fabric thing. Looks like it's completely jam-packed full because I put that other bale in there. So Grandma's house, the cotton's still smoking through there. The fabric hasn't flipped over yet because it hasn't been the end of the... I don't think it's really gone through a whole lot, and it has been the end of the night anyway. I think that's when it flips. But here you go. 35,000 of it is in there, so lots. Lots and lots and lots. I should have known better on that field that we tried to, you know, makeshift make a field out of where the potatoes are. I should have known that the worker was going to get issues. I went over there and looked at it. He was nearly done. He was on his last strip. I'm like, oh, perfect. He's going to stop. He's not going to go across. And he did. So, yeah, well, you know, it is what it is, I guess. It sucks. But we'll just have to deal with it. Suffer through a little bit of loss. Should have plenty of fertilizer here to do this field without having to go back and get more. Watch out, sheep. Sorry. Run for the hills. You don't have any hills to run to, but run for the hills. Sorry. Don't get smacked in the face with some fertilizer. Pretty sure this the length of this is just slightly too big, where I have to go back down a second time and waste a good chunk of fertilizer trying to, you know, get those sections. The only other way I could do it is if I was to kind of weave back and forth. That's the only way I could do it to save a little bit. But it is what it is. It's fine. Oh, Z, don't lie to the ladies and gentlemen here. I'm getting a little nervous now. We are running running out of a lot more fertilizer than I was expecting to run out of. I think we're going to be okay, though. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. So with that, gang, we're going to leave the episode there. I hope you enjoyed it. Some more progress, some new stuff on the farm yet again. Continue to spend money instead of saving the money. That seems to be our motto here for the last few, but it's worth it. I do think it truly is worth it. I think it will help us a lot. I think it's going to save us time and money in the long run, too. So we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you're new. It's free. About the last free thing in the world you can do. And it helps me out a ton. And I'll catch you all next time.